All right, Williamsburg, and welcome back to a brand new season of Super Sound Showcase. My name is Tim, and we have a very special guest here today. We actually have JJ Justice. How's it going, JJ?
Going great, Tim. How about you?
Absolutely, it's going really good. It's good to be back.
Oh, it's good to be out of the house.
Yeah. All right, so for our listeners, tell them a little bit about who you are and what you're doing.
Well, I'm obviously JJ Justice. I have been playing music since my 20s, but never really in a focused way. And then just in the last, we'll say 10 years or so, I've been playing with a couple of different bands. I've started singing just maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Started writing songs 2 years ago. And about a year ago, I started doing the singer-songwriter thing. I took some of the songs I've been writing, and I've started performing solo, which is a little bit unusual because I don't play guitar like everybody else. I play a dobro, which is not a very singer-friendly instrument, but it's been a lot of fun and a big challenge trying to figure out how to get a good coherent sound and make it all come together.
Yeah. I mean, dobros, they are a little bit more complicated, if I'm not mistaken.
Not really more complicated, but the fact that you're playing with a slide all the time, and that's the only way you play notes, it makes intonation very critical, and you have to pay a lot of attention to where the slide is. Otherwise, you're playing out of tune. And when you try to sing, as well as you're paying attention to where the notes are on your instrument, it's easy to get one or the other out of tune.
Right. Well, that actually brings up a good point because some of our listeners may not know what a dobro is.
A dobro is technically a resonator guitar. It's shaped like a guitar, and it's an acoustic instrument, just like a regular acoustic guitar. But it has essentially what's an aluminum speaker cone built into the body that gives it a different sound and also makes it louder than a normal acoustic guitar. In particular, a dobro is set up with a very heavy neck, and the strings are, a quarter inch or a half inch above the fretboard. So you can't fret them with your fingers. You have to use a metal bar and play it like a Hawaiian lap steel.
Wow.
But it was invented, its roots go back to the 20s. It was invented by the DoPera brothers, hence the name dobro, which was not only a contraction of that, but they were Slovakian, and in the Slovakian language, dobro itself means good. And so that's kind of how it got its name.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. So sort of getting back to more about you playing dobro, actually a couple questions. First, why the dobro? I mean, most people go straight to guitar, piano.
I actually went through a guitar phase first.
Okay.
When I came out of college, I started playing a little bit of harmonica and very quickly got into blues harmonica. And from there, I started playing a little bit of guitar, but I had a really tough time making my fingers contort into all those chords. That's just not the way my brain works. So I started playing a lot of blues slide guitar. And then years later, a couple of things happened that moved me over to dobro. And one was playing acoustic blues. That's more of a kind of a solo thing. And I had a chance to play with a guy named Ronnie Simpkins, who is the dobro, or not the dobro player, but the bass player for Seldom Seen, big name bluegrass group. He toured with Tony Rice. And so I kind of got interested in bluegrass music from that perspective. And then the other thing that happened is I saw a solo blues performer, a guy that no longer performs, but just amazing guitar player, amazing singer, named Kelly Joe Phelps. And he played an old, I think it was Gibson or Guild acoustic guitar, but he raised the strings and played it like a dobro on his lap with a bar. And I loved the sound he was getting. I loved what he was doing to back himself up as a singer. And so between those two things, I started playing dobro and getting interested in bluegrass dobro players.
Yeah. All right. So Well, I guess the next question is, you mentioned that you are a songwriter.
Yes.
How's that process going? Or should I say, how is the process for you?
The process for me is fascinating. I didn't start writing songs until about 2 years ago, in my 60s. I had never had any thoughts of writing a song, and I mentioned to Gabby earlier when we were talking that I was at a workshop on music arranging with Joe Craven, who played with Jerry Garcia Band and David Grisman Band, phenomenal player. I made some offhand comment, and somebody in the classroom said, "Well, that's a great line for a song." And I said, "Take it. I'm not a songwriter." And Joe was kind of surprised that I was the only one in the class that didn't write songs. And he essentially issued a challenge. He said, "Just write one as a creative exercise to see what that does to the way you view music and how you approach music." He says, "You may never want to write another song, but it might change how you view songs." And so, it being a workshop, I said, let's go for it, do the homework. I wrote a song, and it's a song I still perform. And I was real happy with how it turned out. And so I started writing other songs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fascinating in the whole songwriting process to see what comes out of your subconscious. And a lot of times things come out that you don't think about consciously, and then once you start writing, things come out that surprise you.
Yeah.
So it's been fascinating experience.
Absolutely, and there's something to be said about being so close to something on paper, and then you record it and hear it back, and other things come to light.
Exactly, and one of the things that has been fascinating too, as a solo performer, is just how much easier it is to put emotion into a song that you have written.
Oh yeah.
You're not trying to relate somebody else's experience. This is coming straight out of you, whether you're writing about somebody else or not. It's something that comes out of your core.
Yeah. And it is. It's one thing to play like a cover or something where those feelings are kind of implied, versus playing something that you've written yourself and the emotion kind of follows.
Right. It's easier to have an authentic expression of the emotion, I think. And I love doing covers. There's songs I hear every week that I go, I got to do that one.
Mm-hmm. So has music been a part of your life since the beginning?
Not really. Growing up, I didn't play music. I wasn't in the choir. I wasn't in chorus in school. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until after I got out of college that I started actually playing music. I loved listening to music, but that was pretty much it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's amazing, because you hear a lot about these performers who start so young and they have that kind of ramp up time, but really this is a perfect story of there's no better time to start than now.
Exactly. And I've only been playing dobro probably 15 years.
Only 15 years.
Only 15 years. For somebody that's in their 60s, that's starting late. And I've only been singing and playing dobro about 6 or 7, and that was kind of an accident how that one happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Saudi Arabia at the time, and there was a lady there that played a great old time fiddle music. I mean, she was just a phenomenal fiddle player, and we got talking one day, and she found out I played dobro, and she found fiddle, but we never had a chance to get together to play. She was busy with her life. I was busy with mine. But she'd been there in Saudi Arabia for a couple of years, and the embassy actually asked her for their American Day, where they were kind of celebrating American culture and bringing in people from other embassies, asked her to play for the ceremony. They said, we want you to play music for an hour before we have our ceremony. Mm-hmm. And she called me up and she said, I don't want to play solo fiddle tunes for an hour. Would you mind playing with me? I said, sure. And so we sat down and started playing together. And my next door neighbor played a little guitar and was a beautiful singer, very Alison Krauss-like voice. And so we brought her in and we started working up. We had, I think, 3 or 4 days to get ready for an hour show.
Wow.
Never having played together before. and all coming from vastly different music backgrounds. And so we started trying to come up with songs we could all play and do. And for one of the songs, the lady from next door was trying to sing it, and wasn't one she was familiar with, and she couldn't get the phrasing down. And so I tried singing it one time just to help her get through the phrasing, and she stopped and she looked at me. She says, "Well, you need to be doing this one." I said, "I can't. I'm playing Dobros." "I don't care. Just do it." And so that was literally the first time I tried to sing and play Dobro, and that was about 6 or 7 years ago.
And how'd it go?
It actually went well.
Nice.
That was one of the better shows that I've ever been involved with. These two ladies I played with were phenomenal musicians. They outclassed me by far. I'm not ashamed to admit it all. They were wonderful. But it was one of the things that really opened my eyes to just how good the show went. And we all had fun. We had a good time. But they had hired a jazz band from somewhere in Europe, I don't remember where, and they brought them in to play after the ceremony. So we played an hour before the ceremony. There was a ceremony. They played after. Well, when we came off the stage, the keyboard player for the jazz band walked up to me and goes, "You guys are great. What's your band name?" I said, "We don't have a band name. We just we live up the street and they ask us to play." And he goes, "You guys aren't touring? You're not on the circuit?" I said, "No."
Wow.
And so I mean, the show, for 3 days, putting it together in 3 days really came off very well. I was pleased. We ended up playing several other events around there until I moved away and one of the ladies moved away.
But yeah, the rest is history.
But it was probably the best band I've ever played with, and it was all because of those two ladies.
Man, well, that's quite a way to start.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get jumping into the next round where you will be playing some songs for us.
Okay.
I know with COVID-19 and everything going around, people aren't really playing as much, but do you have any recordings or anywhere people can go to see more?
I have a Facebook page, JJ Justice Music. There's not much on it. I actually set it up only a couple of months ago.
Oh, wow.
I've got, I think, one video on there from my last show before COVID hit.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to put a little bit more up now that things are coming out of the house and we're allowed to get back in public again.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, yeah, we'll see how things go.
We'll see how things go. If not, I may sit in my living room and
of course, you're always welcome back here.
I appreciate that, Tim. You're always welcome over at my house. We'll have steak sometime. Gabby, you too.
Sounds like a plan. All right, Williamsburg. Well, that was JJ Justice. This is Super Sound Showcase, and we are sponsored by Culture Fix. We'll be right back right after this. All right, Williamsburg, and welcome back to a brand new season of Super Sound Showcase. My name is Tim, and we have a very special guest here today. We actually have JJ Justice. How's it going, JJ?
Going great, Tim.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're going to be playing today.
I'm going to do 2 songs that I wrote myself. The first one is called One More Good Morning Kiss. It's one of the first songs I wrote. It was my failed attempt at writing a mushy love song for my wife.
Aw. Yeah, but still, it's appreciated.
It's appreciated, and she actually likes it a lot. So
that's what matters.
So it wasn't as failed as I was thinking it was when I finished.
All right, well, JJ, take it away.
After 30 years of marriage, you still can't cook pot roast. The housekeeping's atrocious, and you always burn the toast. Your meatloaf can't be saved even by the Holy Ghost. But one more good morning kiss from you is what I need the most. The garage could use a coat of paint. The roof still got that leak. But when you take your morning shower, girl, I still like to peek. I love to watch you wiggle. It makes my knees go weak. And one more good morning kiss from you, that is what I see. There's no need to put on makeup. You can't forget about your hair. Leave that dress hanging in the closet. I wanna see you bare. So baby, let's go snuggle up and make some homemade sin, and enjoy one more good morning kiss and do it all again. The neighbor kids want to play catch, my arm's too tired to throw. The weatherman calls for rain, I feel the aching in my toe. The backyard still needs trimming, that's just one more row to hoe. How about one more good morning kiss from you? Let's take it nice and slow. There's no need to put on makeup, you can't forget about your hair. Leave that dress hanging in the closet, I wanna see you bare. So baby, let's go snuggle up and make some homemade sin, then enjoy one more good morning kiss and do it all again. Well, my doctor's ruined breakfast. It's prune juice and one kumquat. My back is always aching, and I've sunburned my bald spot. I've still got lots of hair, it just grows where it ought not. How about one more good morning kiss from you? Let's make it really hot. There's no need to put on makeup, you can't forget about your hair. Leave that dress hanging in the closet, I wanna see you bare. So baby, let's go snuggle up and make some homemade sin, then enjoy one more good morning kiss and do it all again. Then enjoy one more good morning kiss and do it all again.
All right, that I was cracking up a little bit. That's one of those love songs that you've been in a relationship for a while.
Oh yeah. It's kind of a unique perspective, having been married for 30 years.
But it's very sweet still.
That's what my wife says. As long as she's happy with it, we're good.
Yeah. All right. So what's the next one?
The next one's one that I wrote called "Roll Away the Stone." As I mentioned to you when we were talking earlier, that I didn't really grow up playing music, and frankly, it's kind of surprising that I ever ended up playing music. My dad, in particular, he turned on Lawrence Welk every Saturday night, and he cranked the volume up to the point where the speakers on the TV were distorting. He had this little thin voice that just like would get to you,
Yeah.
But he was not the worst singer in the family. The worst singer in the family was my maternal grandmother. And this song is it comes from that place, just a remembrance of her and her singing.
All right. Well, take it away.
Grandma'd leave her home in Mount Olive to visit our tobacco market town. She had a face old and wrinkled that I'd never seen wear a frown. Sunday mornings we'd sit in a hardwood pew while she sang an old hymn or two in a shrill, cracking voice that left me no choice but to laugh at those old gospel songs. She sang Old Rugged Cross and oh, what a friend. She sang in the garden alone. Blessed assurance, amazing grace. If I could roll away the stone, Well, she'd stay with us a week or two every year. As winter time would draw near, I grew up and moved out, but I'd always come back to find my grandmother there. She passed away when I was at sea. 3 weeks buried, for I knew she was gone. And I'd bring her right back to hear her sweet voice crack if I could roll away the stone. She sang Old Rugged Cross, and oh, what a friend. She sang in the garden alone. Blessed assurance, amazing grace. If I could roll away the stone. She sang Old Rugged Cross, and oh, what a friend. She sang in the garden alone. Blessed assurance, amazing grace. If I could roll away the stone. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine, and I still think about her all of the time.
Wow, that was really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Appreciate that, Tim.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, JJ, for being in today. We really do appreciate it. Again, this is Super Sound Showcase, showcasing Williamsburg's up-and-coming musicians and ones that have been around here for a while as well.
Yes. And thank you guys for doing this. I really love the fact that you're doing this to support local musicians.
Oh,
Thank you both, Gabby and Tim.
Well, thank you, and thank Culture Fix that were sponsoring the show.
Thank you, Culture Fix.
All right, so now we'll go back to the music. This has been Tim and Super Sound Showcase. We'll see you next week.